A small Wisconsin village is coming to terms still with a tragic shooting. A mother and her two young boys were shot inside of a Montfort home Friday afternoon. Grant County authorities have identified Morgan Slatt and her two sons, 8-year-old Joseph and 6-year-old Jackson, as the victims. Jackson died from his injuries, and the last update we were able to get was that his mother and brother are still in critical condition. As News 3's Leah Linscheid explains, while this family was relatively new to the area, Montfort residents are still lending their support and their strength.
I can't hardly imagine what they're going through.
Days later, the death of 6-year-old Jackson Slatt isn't any easier to comprehend.
We don't understand what all happened, but it's just a hard situation.
But you don't have to understand what happened Friday to see what's happening today.
The people down here in southwest Wisconsin, especially these counties, tend to pull together not only during bad times, but during good times, too.
Within hours of officers taking down the tape on East Main Street, a small shrine has popped up outside Jackson's old home. Flowers, stuffed animals, and handwritten notes, all coming from Montfort residents and the surrounding communities as well.
Just our little tribute here is just a simple thing of what we can and should be doing as a community.
We aren't able to do much, but help out any way we can.
The loss touches some more than most.
You know, we relate to it real well.
I dropped off stuffed animal monkey with the cop suit.
Scott and his two kids came all the way from Boscobel to share their respects here. Their family has dealt with death themselves, the loss of their 12-year-old son and brother, Briar.
It's a subject very close to home for us, and it's the least we could do is come out.
There's an old saying that there are no strangers in this world, just friends I haven't met yet. And I really think that's kind of the mindset and the heart set of the people in this area.
That message of love and support is evident here in what's been left behind for a boy most didn't know. But for the people in southwest Wisconsin, that doesn't matter.
You say it's born and bred in small communities. That's just how people are in rural areas, and that's what you do.
The community really is relying on one another to get through this. They are leaning on one another.
Leah Linscheid reporting tonight. The United Methodist Church is planning a candlelight vigil for Jackson and his family. That will take place in Montfort next Sunday at 1 p.m. There's also a website set up for people wanting to donate to the Slatt family. And we're learning more about the time that family spent in Oklahoma. Tyler and Morgan Slatt both battled an addiction to methamphetamines. Their addiction to the drugs lost them everything, including their boys. Through rehab and counseling, the Slatts were able to get on the road to recovery. They also had the support of a church family. Members of Bethany Free Will Baptist Church provided the Slatts with a home where they lived this past spring. What you're seeing now comes from our sister station in Tulsa when they did a story on that generous gift. At this time, the Grant County Sheriff says drugs were not involved in Friday's shooting. News 3 will continue to follow any developments concerning this story. And again, there is a vigil planned for next Sunday outside of the Slatts' home in Montfort.